Guys, welcome back to another episode of Lost in the Specific. Thanks so much if you've been watching my videos. Just a quick reminder, if you do like it, please subscribe, please share. Again, I'm not going to keep doing this if just my mum keeps watching. Alright. My mum does watch, shut up. Okay, so we're going to talk about the truth about remote work today. The truth about remote work. Everybody dreams about it. They sit on their desk, they type on their computers, they look at their boss who hates them and you hate them right back, and they just think, there's got to be a better way than this. Well, there is. Working for yourself, working remotely, being in charge of your own diary, being in charge of your own workload, being in charge of your own office, the bed, the hammock, the coffee shop, everywhere. And people love it. They aspire to this. They think it's the perfect lifestyle, especially the digital nomad lifestyle of traveling around the world from one destination to another, creating things along the way. It's the dream. It's a pretty good life. We're going to downplay it a bit, but Anyway, so I've been doing this for about 2 years now, and I've been a writer, I'm a journalist. I've said this on previous videos, so if you're paying attention, you best be paying attention, then you'll know that already. I write for photography publications, self-help republications. Oh, you're a writer, mate, but you can't speak, clearly. Publications. And I love it, I've been earning a steady income for around about 2.5 years now, and it's an absolute dream. But it's not without its difficulties, and I think we need to make that clear as a community of remote workers, digital nomads, whatever you want to call us, that for those who are looking to enter this lifestyle, enter this kind of career, then you have to have the full scope of the story before you decide whether or not you want to invest in it. Now, one of the biggest gripes that I have with this lifestyle is loneliness. And you may be thinking, dude, you travel the world meeting lots of people, having thousands and thousands and thousands of women just throwing themselves at you. How can you be lonely? Well, it's still the case that you can be around a lot of people but not really feel like you've got a real deep, meaningful connection with a person or a group of people. And even though you're around other communities, you can get quite lonely and feel isolated at times, especially when you're on the move a lot. You'll meet people, you'll start to develop chemistry and comfort, and they'll start to be, a pillar of your experience in the place that you're at, and then you move on. And then when you move on, you've got to restart, you've got to do it all again. And as exciting and thrilling as that is, you're not always going to have the best experience. So loneliness is probably one of the biggest issues with working remotely, especially if you're someone who works from home. Now, personally, I like to go to a co-working space or a coffee shop, but there's a lot of people that just work from home, and that really takes away that kind of office vibe, which I appreciate some people are trying to do. But there's also good parts of working in an office. You have your weekly Friday night drinks, Saturday night drinks, your Sunday night drinks, obviously your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night drinks. Too much? It's not too much. And that's a great part of having a community. Even if it's a working community, it's still there. And a lot of us, we mock the water cooler chat, but it's a break up in the day where you get to have a conversation with someone. That's not always the case when you're working remotely. Sometimes you start speaking to people who do not exist, and you work with it. So yeah, isolation and loneliness is a big one. Another one with working remotely is communication. Now, I'm very lucky that everyone that I work with has a solid level of communication, but that's not always the case. When you're having conversations over Slack and Asana and things like that, it's not always easy to get your point across, and sometimes something that would have ended up being a 2-minute dialogue in person ends up going on for an afternoon until everybody's on the same page. So working remotely can kind of hinder workflow in some instances. And that's just something you have to adapt to and something that you get used to. But if you're someone who's really kind of zoning in on effective, clear, quick communication, then it's not always going to be there if you choose to work remotely. Another issue with remote work, and this is more aimed at freelancers, is you don't have the same protections as you would do if you were working for a company, if you were on the payroll as an actual member of staff rather than a freelance member of staff. they can pick you up and drop you at any time they wish to. And that's not nice, but sometimes it has to be a decision that they need to make from a company perspective. Maybe you're not meeting the workload, or maybe you're not giving them exactly what they want, and they have the freedom to just say, see ya, bye. Can I come back? Bye. Okay. And it works twofold. You can do it with them. You can just tell them without any further notice, see ya, I'm done. It's not best practice. I always suggest that if you do move on from one project to another, that you give as much notice as possible, because you never know when you'll work with that company or client again in the future. So it's always good to keep the relationships nice and tight. But yeah, job security, freelance, remote, not really there. But, and I don't want to just make this a negative thing. Those are the three main gripes: the isolation, the communication, or the barriers with communication rather, and the lack of job security that you get from freelance work. But it is still, and I still feel this the same way I did when I first started, the best thing I've ever done in my life. The freedom, the ability to create, the desire to grow and grow your client base, grow your business, grow your resume. It's exciting. You feel that you have more control of your day-to-day working than you would if you were just sat working for someone who's like middle management, who hates their life, so projects that onto you, so you hate your life, and yada, yada, yada. And if you choose to do the remote working while traveling, honestly, whilst it's been difficult at times, I've had some of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life. I can't think of a time in my life when I've ever been happier. So if you are thinking about dipping your foot into remote work and the digital nomad lifestyle, I strongly recommend you do. I just want you to know exactly what kind of pool you're getting yourself into. A little bit philosophical. Come on. No? Not okay. Anyway, guys, that's another video from me. Please do subscribe and share. I appreciate all your support. I'll see you again next time.